Hi, I'm Allison Henrich, and I am one of the authors of this amazing book, Navigating the Math Major, Charting Your Course, and I'm happy to answer some questions.
What inspired you to write this book?
Well, so Steve Kennedy, who's the former acquisitions editor of MAA Press, came to me and said, we realize there's a gap in the books that are out there. There's no book that really is a guidebook for math majors on, what are the courses I should take? What are the opportunities I should know about? How do I apply for an REU? What kind of jobs are out there that I could do other than an academic job? And so we thought, oh, okay, well, this sounds like a cool book project. And so I put together this amazing team of Carrie Diaz-Eaton, Stephen Klee, and Jennifer Townsend. So Carrie is an interdisciplinary researcher in academia. Steve is a former professor who's now at Amazon, and Jen is a former professor who's now at Microsoft. So we have a variety of different experiences to draw from for this book.
What do you hope readers will take away from this book?
Okay, so I hope that this is like the insider's guide, that students feel like they're getting the real tea. They're figuring out like, oh, what's the program I should be applying to, or who are the people I should be talking to, or how do I get the skills that I want to get in order to be able to do this project. So we're hoping that people feel like they're getting like the down low on what's going to help them be really successful.
You were navigating your math major. What kind of guidance did you receive, and how would this book would have made your journey a little bit more straightforward or better than it was?
Oh, that's such a great question. So for instance, I didn't know what an REU was until like pretty far into grad school. And that's something that I might have been interested in doing. So doing a research project over summer, or maybe over the course of a year. So I didn't know that opportunity was out there. I didn't learn tech till I was in grad school, but I wrote a senior thesis as an undergrad, and tech would have been so useful for doing that. It wasn't until in the last few years that I've had any kind of an idea of what people do besides go into academia with a math major. So I'm one of these professors who understands how academia works, but what else would you do with a math major? And so that's one of the most fun parts for me of working on this book, is I got to interview a lot of people who were math majors but who are not working in academia. So I interviewed science writers and doctors and lawyers and people working in the government. And so it was really cool to see what all the options are, because people just don't really know. And maybe they have an idea, but their families don't know, and they want to be able to talk, intelligently to people like their moms and dads about what all the options are with a math major. So I also think this book will be helpful for professors who, like me, did not know all that information and want to be able to give your students good advice.
Do you have a favorite section or chapter in this book?
Yeah, so my favorite section is the one that I just talked about, which is the section, it's pretty long. It's a chapter in the book where we interview people who were math majors who are not working in academia. So that was really interesting to me. We also have a chapter about communities of support, and that's something I really knew nothing about when I was an undergrad. What's the MAA? What are organizations I can get involved in that'll support me if I'm a woman, or I'm a student of color, or I'm gay, or have some kind of different aspect of my identity that I would like to be able to connect with people in the math community who also I feel an affinity with. So we have a whole chapter on communities of support and conferences you can go to and things that you can get involved in. And I think that's just a wealth of information for people. So what sets the book aside is it's doing some things that other books have done before, but there are professors that have websites that give a little bit of advice about this and a little bit of advice about that. And what we're trying to do is collect all that advice in one place where you can learn everything from what classes to take, what things you might want to study, you know, how you can become a better speaker, giving a technical talk in math, and how to apply for a job in industry. So we're kind of a one-stop shop for all of that information. And then there are some fun things scattered throughout the book too, like we have a scavenger hunt, we have a little Mad Lib, we have a bingo game, and we have recommended like YouTube channels to follow and blogs to follow. So a lot of stuff that I think people will find useful.
Is there any last words you want to say for the interview?
Well, I just want to say this book might look like it's just for a certain kind of person. Like maybe it looks like it's just for a first or second year math major. But I think this book, I'm going to be using it actually this next year in my like capstone course for senior math majors, because I know they're going to have to write math papers and give math talks and apply for jobs. The book has information for earlier career students who are about to graduate, and I think as a faculty member, this book would be useful to me if I hadn't already written it. Because there's so much information that you don't know. You can't know all of this as one person. That's why we have 4 authors on this book, because all of us bring a little bit of knowledge. And then we reached out to other people to help fill in the gaps in our knowledge. So I think it'll be a useful resource for faculty as well.
All right, well, thank you so much.